Hello there, friends. Today I would like to talk about Latin American musician who influence and determine the rock and roll scene in Latin America. The instrumentalist Carlos Alberto Garcia Moreno, better known as Charlie Garcia, born on October 23 in Buenos Aires, Argentina. At the age of he surprised his family by assuring them that a guest musician had one of his guitar strings out of tone, and he was right. A year later, he would prove that they had the gift of absolute hearing. At the age of 12, he was already a classical music concert performer. While at the school, he met Nito Mestre, a friend with whom he performed his first group called Sui Generis, which already hinted at the prolific quality of the musician and managed to release three discographic records and live in 1972, Confession of Reinter 1973, and short anecdotes about the institutions in 1974. In 1978 and 1978 appeared with a project called Saru Jiran, and which was formed by first musicians and enjoyed great recognition in the lineup, and were names like Charlie Garcia vocals, keyboards and guitars, David Lebon vocals and guitars, Pedro Snar bass, keyboards and vocals, and Oscar Moro drummer. Already for the 80s, he formed his career as a soloist, releasing six albums. This time, consolidate through his music the first figure for of rock in Spanish, achieving memorable shows like the one in 1972, no 1982, that being the first presentation as a soloist. He set fire to the stage when they played No Bombardee in Buenos Aires in protest of the Malvinas War. By the 90s, he was already a public figure reaching the threshold of musical genius, and at the same time the limit of excess. The musician went through scandals and eight records production, among which we can highlight works such Cheap Philosophy and Robert Shaw's and The Dagger of the Tear, an album in which he began to approach the concept of say no more, which we will never abandon, and taking as a reference to a Beatles movie. And the first Latin American musicians employed for MTV, which exposed the virtuosity that the musician retained in the execution of the piano and the guitar. And the first decade 2000 surprised the whole world when he threw himself um, from the ninth floor of hotel in Mendoza into the pool. The worst thing was that he got out of the pool is if nothing happened, and justified that a policeman did not want to let him out of his room, she so he decided to throw himself from the balcony. And and this time the artist lowers the level of musical production. The ghost of excesses continues to surround his environment, present repeated and tries to detoxification. Uh, for this period include the production of a new album of Sui Generis accompanied by a tour for 2000 and Wall Launch Influence album that was very well received by both critics and fans. The last work of the artist is from the 2017 and Random, an album full of his own songs that had more than a decade in not launching as a such work of his own well represented, like the single The Machine of Happiness, and that exposed a much quieter artist but full of harmonies and melodies that made him a benchmark of music in Spanish. Thank you.